meeting with Adrian today and talking to all of you guys out there because we've got some exciting stuff that's happening at Rootstock that we wanted to bring you up to speed on. And this is all about merge mining. So firstly, let me explain a little bit about what merge mining is at a very high level. So the Bitcoin miners that secure the Bitcoin network, they can also merge mine with Rootstock. That means when the template goes out to the mining pools, there is a 1 or a 0 different in the header, which means that when those Bitcoin miners are mining Bitcoin, they are also merge mining Rootstock. That 0, 1, that hash goes onto the Bitcoin blockchain, which means that those blocks are also connecting between Bitcoin and Rootstock. There's my really high level explanation of how the technical component works. And what this means is the merge miners receive 79% of the fees from the Rootstock blockchain, supporting the economic model, contributing to the security budget, and making sure that Rootstock is a helpful participant to the wider, what I'd like to refer to as the kind of wider decentralized Bitcoin business model. Adrian, what have I missed? Take it a little bit deeper for people who are new to merge mining.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine with what you just said. So the important thing here, as you said, is the miners are securing two blockchains at the same time. In this case, in the case of Rootstock, it's Bitcoin and Rootstock, and they do not require any extra computational effort or any other hardware different from what they already have. And the miners submit the same work for the parent blockchain and the secondary blockchain. And if the work meets the difficulty of both chains, it's basically they earn rewards from both blockchains, right? And one good thing about Rootstock is those rewards are paid in Bitcoin or Rootstock, right?
So on a quarterly basis, Rootstock Labs, we publish the merge mining report. I'm going to share something for everybody to see here. This is a breakdown of all of the Bitcoin miners that are merge mining with Rootstock as of around December 2024. Now, some of these have been merge mining with Rootstock for many years, like Antpool, via BTC and F2 Pool. Some of them are newer joiners as well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Adrian, Brains and Luxor joined relatively recently, right?
Well, actually, Brains, it's been mining for a long time. Actually, it's one of the first ones. But you're right about Luxor. They joined during 2023, which are the one of the latest ones to join Rootstock.
And so you can see the merge mining participants for Rootstock. This is quite an advanced group. We've been onboarding or helping onboard merge miners into Rootstock for several years now. But of course, you know, the journey and the destination is decentralization, right? So we're always looking to bring in new merge miners, contribute more revenue to the merge miners, and further decentralize Rootstock. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another image here. This shows Q3 and Q4, and it shows the progression of Bitcoin hash rate, which is securing the Rootstock network. So Q3 around 54%, and that increased by 2%. During Q4. Now, these are averages over the quarter, but you can also see that as a percentage of Bitcoin's hash rate, even though it only increased by 2% near or less, the actual hash rate securing Rootstock grew quite significantly, right? Around 70 exahashes. And that's because the number of Bitcoin miners that are securing the Bitcoin blockchain is growing, and the amount of hash rate that's securing Bitcoin is growing to historic levels. And so we would describe this as these are broadly relatively stable quarters. Again, there's averages here, there's estimations, these things fluctuate. But what we wanted to share with you guys today, and one of the things we're really excited about, is two big developments that have happened in just the last few weeks. The first one is that Spiderpool started merge mining with Rootstock, I believe, in late December, and then it went public in January, adding about 6% increase in the Bitcoin hash rate securing Rootstock. And then something that we're very, very proud to announce today is that Foundry have started merge mining with Rootstock as well. A couple of stats on Foundry first, and then Adrian, it'd be great to hear your experience of working with Foundry and some of the work that they've been doing now for Rootstock. So Foundry are the largest Bitcoin miner in the world. They are number one. They about 71% of the power that's used to generate this hash rate is ESG. It comes from ESG positive energy sources, and they're widely considered one of the, not just in terms of hash rate, but in terms of the work they do, one of the leaders in the Bitcoin miners. Adrian, how's this experience been, and what's it been like working with Foundry?
Yeah, so we've been working with Foundry for quite some time. And basically, Foundry has been very supportive of the benefits that Rootstock can bring to Bitcoin, to the Bitcoin ecosystem. They are like implemented these merge mining capabilities very quickly. They have a very professional technical team working on this. And as you said, Daniel, they are like the number one mining pool in the world now, with around 30% of the Bitcoin hash rate. If I'm not wrong, probably you have the numbers clearer than me. So yeah, that's a great addition to the Rootstock ecosystem as well.
Okay, so yeah, so maybe this is an interesting time to stop and ask like what an exahash is, and then show the scale of the merge mining capability that Rootstock has. Again, securing every asset, every protocol, every block. So great description here. I love a big number. An exahash is 1 quintillion cryptographic hashes, and it's the number that's used to calculate the computation by a collection of mining rigs that are securing Bitcoin. An individual rig notes here they're rated in terahashes. Now, here's an interesting thing. So in September 2024, the entire Bitcoin mining hash rate was around 700 exahashes, right? 700 quintillion hashes per second. Now, just for amusement, what I will try and do is I'll give you a definition of what a quintillion is, because it kind of blew my mind. Right, so a quintillion is 1 with 18 zeros. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a quintillion. So that's a quintillion, and that's 1 exahash. So it's 1 with 18 zeros, and then you multiply that by 700 to get to the number of hashes that are securing the Bitcoin blockchain in September 2024. Now, why that number is interesting is because today Rootstock has 740 exahashes securing the network. So that means today, on January 29, 2025, there is more hash rate securing Rootstock than there was in September 2024 for the entire Bitcoin blockchain. Now, that's happened because the network, the Bitcoin network has grown significantly, and there's not more compute power coming online. So current Bitcoin hash rates around 873 exahashes. This is a snapshot from earlier today. All-time high was just over 1,000 exahashes back in early January. And yeah, Rootstock today is being secured by 740 exahashes. Adrian, help us understand, help the audience understand, why does this matter?
So there are like two big things happening at this time. I would say the first one is, of course, all these hash rate, all these exahashes that you mentioned are basically making the Rootstock network more secure. Of course, the Bitcoin network as well. So from a security standpoint, this is a very important milestone, making it much harder to attack the network in terms of what is usually called a 51% attack. But one important thing that you mentioned briefly at the beginning, but I think it's good to mention it again, is how the Rootstock network is becoming even more decentralized with the addition of these new actors coming from the Bitcoin mining industry, Foundry and Spiderpool, which basically make the hash rate distribution in Rootstock much more diversified in terms of the companies and also in terms of geographical distribution, right? Because all these mining pools are based in different countries, and that's great in terms of decentralization.
So it's like the Rootstock network is less reliant on any individual energy supply, any individual nation state, any individual mining pool. The more Bitcoin miners come online, the further diversified, not away from any individual actor, but also any kind of energy shock. It's hardening the network.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's as you say, it's security and decentralization, which are kind of tightly connecting one to the other one. But yeah, big in those two, let's say, themes in how the Rootstock network is improving now.
Right, fantastic. So important to consider then when you're thinking about what Rootstock is and what we've been building over the last 7 years now. You know, this is the most decentralized, the most secure, and the first Bitcoin sidechain, the first Bitcoin side system to go live, securing nearly $500 million worth of Bitcoin and other assets on the network today. And really, some of the growth on Rootstock has been phenomenal. So it's been great talking to institutions, talking to Bitcoin native businesses, and talking to DeFi protocols about what Rootstock means for them and what 2025 is going to represent for the network. So, Adrian, thanks so much for talking to me about this. Hope everybody listening has learned a little bit more about what Rootstock is and how important merge mining is to securing the assets on the network.